didn't play very well in the situations. Third downs were not very good. Not very good in the red zone, obviously, at the end. So, very disappointed. I thought Indiana played really well, did a great job, but just obviously, we're all disappointed in the locker room that we didn't finish out this regular season the way we wanted to.
Please raise your hand. We will bring a microphone to you for questions. Go here in the front.
I've got Mike.
Okay, right here. State your name and affiliation.
Yeah, Steve Hellwagon with Bucknuts 24/7 Sports. So, Coach, your team has allowed 6 sacks the entire season, and in the first 2.5 quarters, Indiana had 5 of them. Just what were they? I know they're a great defense, obviously,
Sure.
looking at their numbers, but what were in particular that just made this a miserable night for the offensive line?
Yeah, they obviously brought different pressures and twists, and but that was something that they had done all season. They're very good at it. We didn't handle it very well at all. So, there were times we did, but we weren't consistent enough. And this is a major lesson for this team, is that it can come down to 1 play or 2 plays or 3 plays that decide a game like this. And so, this is a tough lesson to learn. But we have to be more efficient across the board. It can't just be us doing our job once or twice, or 3 times. I mean, it's going to be every single time, and that didn't happen. And that starts with the coaching, and then goes from there.
Let's go here on the right. Name and affiliation.
Yeah, Jake Trotter from ESPN. Ryan, could you go through the thinking, the decision making, and then the execution on the 2 red zones where you had 3rd and 1 and didn't come up with any points?
Yeah, on the first one, we tried to sprint out to Jeremiah. It didn't work, and then we tried to sneak there that looked like we had. I guess they said that his knee was down, it was short, so that was that one. And then on the next one, we tried to roll out on the 3rd and 1, and it was batted down, and then felt like at that point, let's just get the 3 points and get the defense back on the field and see if we can play for another possession, get a stop and get the ball back, kick a field goal to win the game. But we didn't execute that. So, at the end of the day, we went down there 2 times and ended up with 0 points, and that's how you lose a game.
We'll go here on the left, and then we'll come up to the front.
With Joey Coffin, Columbus Dispatch, on the went for it on 4th and the kick, how much the fact that you guys have struggled in some of the sneaks last week in the rivalry game in Michigan, the sneak was short, and this sneak was short as well. How did that maybe influence the thinking there?
Well, for the most part, our sneaks have been pretty good this year. How many have we not got this year?
Just 2.
Yeah. It's been pretty good for us, and we felt like we've been pretty good at it, but we didn't execute it, in this one. So, we'll have to, figure out if that's the right thing to do moving forward, and try to put our guys in the best position to be successful.
Here in front.
Ryan, Stefan Kreischick with Cleveland.com. You guys have stressed routine so much all year, right? Moving things around to make sure you stick to routine. I know you don't want to make excuses, but how tough was this week? Obviously, there was a million things you guys had to balance. Just did it feel like it threw off the routine? Do you feel like it impacted what happened today at all?
Well, I would just say that it was the same for both teams. So at the end of the day, that's our job, to come out here and execute and win games. So we're not going to make any excuses about any of this. We wanted to win this game. The guys had a good week of practice, but at the end of the day, we came up short. So we got to get back and figure out why that happened, what the issues were, and get it fixed, because the season's not over. Got a lot of football ahead of us, and hopefully we can use this as a way to get better as we head into the playoffs.
Let's go here in the front, and then we'll go to that side.
Yeah, Austin Ward, 97.1 The Fan. Ryan, with everything that was going on with Brian this week and going to USF, did anything change at all in the way you guys game planned or called plays tonight from the rest of the season?
I'm not going to get into too many details on it all. I think Brian is doing everything he possibly can to finish his time here the right way, and I appreciate that. And so we're all involved with it, and we're all doing everything we can to make sure that we put the guys in the right situation to be successful. We got a bunch of guys in that room, and we'll make sure as we heading into the next few weeks that we're on point and we're doing our part.
We have one over here to the right.
Bowden Jerome, Lounge Sports Network. Coach Day, after missing the game-tying field goal, do you regret going for it on 4th and 2 at the end of the third quarter?
I mean, when it doesn't work, I always regret it. So that's how it works. You know, when it works, it's good. When it doesn't, then you want to take it back. So that's how life works. At the end of the day, we got to, make decisions in real time that we think give our guys the best position to be successful, and practice it enough to execute it. And when it doesn't, then certainly we got to deal with what comes with that, and that's my responsibility. So at the end of the day, I got to make sure that we're putting our guys in the right situation to be successful.
Let's go here in the front.
Bill Rubinowitz, Substack. Ryan, the offensive line had been playing much better tonight. It had its troubles. Can you pinpoint why it struggled so much, especially in protecting Julian?
I'm going to have to really, get on the film and figure out where most of the breakdowns were. I think there was some good play, but not good enough against a good defense. They've done a nice job all year. Continue to do a nice job. I think they were averaging 10 points going into the game and held us to 10 points. So you got to give them credit. But yeah, we'll get back to it and figure out what that was and what where we're coming up short. And usually when that happens, it's everybody. It's not just one person or one thing. But it wasn't good enough. That's for sure.
Let's go here in the front, and then we'll go to the back left.
Jack DeWick with the Lantern. Ryan, it obviously wasn't the result you wanted, but Caden was all over the field today, was making plays outside the stat sheet. What did you see out of him, and how important was he today?
Well, I thought the guys played really, really hard, and certainly Caden led the way. 3 TFLs, but he's been like that all year, and that's who he is and the player he's become. And so I thought the defense was gritty tonight, played hard. And gave us a chance to win, and he was a big part of that.
We'll go here in the back corner.
Ryan, Cameron Teague with The Athletic. Obviously, some of the red zone stuff has worked for you guys. Some of the stuff you guys ran today has worked this year. Obviously, Indiana's a really good red zone defense, but just what did you see in the red zone? And when you inside the 10 twice and you get 0 points, as a play caller, do you start to second guess or change things that maybe didn't work the previous time? And do you feel like that thing leads to overthinking it all?
Well, when you get in the red zone, you got to get positive yards, and you have to. We had a couple of drives that started right around the 10-yard line, and when that happens, I mean, you got to get 3 and 4 yards, or else you can find yourself behind the sticks, real quick, and that didn't happen. And then the passes that we threw, on those first and second downs, weren't successful enough. We tried a couple of things that, didn't work out. So. We got to make sure that they're the right plays and that we're executing them well enough and that we're practicing them well enough. All the things that come with it. So, we spend an inordinate amount of time to try to figure out what is the best scheme that fits what you're going to see in the game, and then we go from there. So, we're all involved with it, and we all got to own it.
Julian, can you comment on the team's fortunes tonight in the red zone?
Yeah, we got to do better execution-wise. Starts with me up, and we'll go from there. I just got to be able to, when we get down there, just put points on the board, because as a quarterback, ultimately you're judged on, how the offense does and when we score points or not. So I got to do a little bit better down there in the red zone and make sure we end up with points, especially on that quarterback sneak. 4th down, we got to end up with the first down there.
Let's go back corner and then here to the middle.
Yeah, Ryan, Rob Aller, Columbus Dispatch. Last year you had that loss at Michigan and kind of regrouped, gave you a chance to kind of re-examine. Do you try to revisit that? Anything that you learned from that moving forward?
I think every year is different, every group's different, but yeah, I mean, there's going to be, a lot of hard conversation here over the next couple of weeks for sure. This is not going to sit well with anybody. It's going to sting, and we can't let this game beat us twice, but we can use it as an opportunity to get better and grow from. But that's only going to happen if we get to work and do it. It isn't just magically going to happen. So. When you lose a game, it hurts, it stings. That's one of the things that we've talked about all year is, let's not wait for a loss to have great urgency. Let's not wait for a setback to motivate us more. Let's continue to fight every day to make sure that we're on top of all of that. But the truth is that with this group, I think that this is going to make us more hungry because this is a competitive group. So to walk off that field without a championship is going to hurt, and that's what we wanted to do. So there's a lot of guys in that locker room that are pissed off right now.
Let's do this right here, and then we'll take any questions for Julian Sayin.
Tim May, FanStream Sports. Julian, on that third down play there before the missed field goal, what were sort of your options? Because obviously you were looking to the end zone all the way there, and just kind of take us through what your thoughts were on that particular play.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, I had a rollout with the running back in the flat, and I thought the defender was too close. He was covered, so I moved on to my next read, and tried to fit it in there, and they ended up batting it away. So we got to convert on that in 3rd and 1 and be able to keep the offense on the field.
Yeah, I don't think Julian could have done anything different on that play or a couple of those plays down there. I know maybe it wasn't perfect, but I thought Julian played well tonight. I thought he played hard, and it was gritty, and had some tough situations where he didn't make bad situations worse. Quite honestly.
Ryan, for you, 3rd downs were huge tonight for them.
Yeah.
I mean, Mendoza hit a couple of huge passes there. Yeah. Do you kind of give it up to the opposition a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what you're seeing, but they certainly made. There were 3 of 6 of 13, and we were 4 of 12, and some of those were big plays in the game. So, so we can't let that happen, obviously, but they executed it, and that was part of the game, part of the story of the game.
Ryan, Doug Lesmerises, the Bill and Doug Show. How much did you consider on the 4th and 1 before the field goal, going for it, and how might that affect your decision-making the rest of this season if you get in another spot like that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously when you miss the field goal, you're sick over it, and you just second-guess yourself right from the jump. But I felt like that was a situation, I forget exactly how long the field goal was, but sort of a chip shot. Get the thing tied up, and let's go. We were struggling down there in the red area. And let's get the thing tied up and see if we can get the ball back and go kick a field goal to win the game. When it doesn't work, you always got to look at it and second guess it for sure.
Questions for Julian, and then we'll continue with Coach Day right here for Julian.
Yeah, Julian. Last year, you guys ended the season with a 13-10 loss, came back, and were dominant the rest of the way. What's going to be the key bouncing back with the playoff in front of you and the opportunity to still win a national title?
Yeah, I think last year, me being a freshman, I just saw that group stick together, and the leadership in that group, and they were together, and that's gonna be a big part for us, is just sticking together and having each other's backs.
Anything else for Julian? Right here in the middle.
Julian, this was the 2nd straight game you had to bounce back from an early interception. Just what is it like for a quarterback to deal with something like that, and how did you think you handled it today?
Yeah, first off, can't turn the ball over, early in the game like that and put our defense in a bad spot. I ended up giving up points for that, and so, those points are on me. But, just battling adversity and, not letting it overtake your mind and just being able to move on to the next play.
We're going to let Julian go, unless you have. What? Yep. Okay.
Joey Kaufman, Columbus Dispatch. For Julian, there was a time in the first half, I think it was where your shoe came off on the sideline there. Did that, and then got some taped up? Did that affect you at all later on, or what happened there?
No, just the shoe came off, so I got it taped up so it stayed on and made sure.
Thank you, Julian. Appreciate it. A couple more for Coach. Go right here in the middle. Sorry, back corner and then the middle.
Hey, Ryan, I just wanted to ask about the right guard spot real quick. Gabe Van Sickle was in there late in the game. Was that just a matter of him being your best option at right guard? Was there anything wrong with Tegra? And I guess moving forward, what do you see at that right guard spot?
Well, we wanted to split the work up a little bit in this game and take some pressure off of both of those guys. So we felt like that was the right thing to do in this game, and we'll decide if that's the right thing to do moving forward.
Go right here.
Tony Gerdeman, Buckeye Huddle. Ryan, I'm sure you thought that holding Indiana to 13 points would have been enough for your offense. I guess your thoughts on the offense overall, and I don't know, disappointment, frustration. Where are you right now?
Well, just finishing off the drives obviously was huge, and really the story of the game. There were times we moved the ball well. We had some decent drives, but when you get into the red zone and you don't finish like that, then this is how you lose games. So I mean that to me is really the story of the game. And then on third downs, 4 of 12, just not good enough. Didn't really establish the run. They were playing a decent amount of coverage, so when they're playing that much coverage, you should be able to run the football consistently. And when you're not, and you're not converting on third down, and you're not scoring in the red zone, that's the story of the game. And so, it's a tough lesson to learn, but it's got to get fixed fast.
How do you deal with the fact that obviously it didn't go your way, but you played an amazing game?
I mean, I don't care how good I played. We still lost as a team. I mean, like I said earlier, it's not an individual sport, it's a team sport. So obviously it sucks, it stinks, and it's going to hurt for a while. But hopefully that just gives us momentum going into these playoffs, and we're just going to come out swinging.
What was that message like in the locker room? What was the first things that were said?
I mean, obviously we had some mistakes out there that kind of shot ourselves in the foot, and kind of just made simple mistakes that we don't really normally make. So we're just going to have to go back and watch the film and figure out what happened and get better from it and get ready for this playoffs.
You guys, of all people, know that sometimes a loss can help a team or spark a run. How do you channel that, knowing you don't know where you're going, but you imagine you'll probably get a bye and go from there?
Yeah, I mean, this whole team knows from last year. I mean, maybe not the freshmen, but the older guys know how it feels to be in the situation, to know what happens after this, to know what we have to do to get to the point where we need to be. And we just got to go in and see the film, see what happened, see what went well, see what went wrong, and just get better. I mean, it's a long season, and we still got playoffs, and we still have a lot more for the story to be said.
When you look at this game, it was 1 versus 2. Obviously, you guys don't want to lose any game, but that feels like it might get lost in the grand scheme of here. You might get another shot at these guys. How do you channel all of that here?
I mean, just taking it one game at a time. I mean, obviously, they were a better football team. I mean, they went out there and they didn't make mistakes, and we went out there and made mistakes. I mean, obviously, we could have beat them many times. I mean, we just got to get better. I mean, they're a better team tonight. I mean, obviously, I think that overall we're a better team, but we just got to come back swinging.
Austin, this is 1 versus 2. When you have a matchup like that, you guys call them matchup games, and you're 1 play short, is that something you can build on knowing you still have 20-some-odd days to get ready for the next game?
Yeah, so we got to get on the film, and we have a whole month to get prepared and fix what we got to fix and enhance what we got to enhance, and we'll be ready.
This is Julian's first loss as a captain of this team. What have you said to him? What were you saying to him in the huddle there as things were going down the stretch, trying to find a way to get the offense clicking?
Yeah, just got to keep your head up and keep playing, just keep balling like you usually do, and we'll be all right.
Last season, obviously, you guys took a loss and turned it into a national championship. Was that the message in the locker room, or what was the message in the locker room postgame?
We knew we just got to get on the film and see what happened, just see what went wrong. And, I mean, it's on everyone. It's not just on one individual, one coach, one player. No, it's on everyone.
Brandon, obviously this is not what you guys wanted. What was that message in the locker room following this one?
Yeah, we know this one's going to hurt. It's not what we wanted. This was one of our goals, and we didn't get the job done, but we still have another major goal in front of us. We have to watch the film, see what went wrong, clean it up, and we're probably going to have a long break, a long time to sit on this loss, and then we got to go execute the rest of the season.
For the offense, it felt like things struggled to get going. What was causing that out there that just couldn't get in the flow of the game?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I got to watch the film and see everything, but we just didn't play the best of our abilities tonight, and we know that. We know we couldn't turn the ball over, and that was on me, and I take full responsibility for that. And, yeah, we're going to get it right.
You're a captain of this team. You were here last year. You know that a loss, you can still turn around and win this thing. How much do you feel that comes on your guys' shoulders to make sure this locker room's ready to go in however many days it is?
Yeah, that was the message me and Caleb were saying, coming back into the locker room. We've been here before. We know what it takes now. We know what it takes to turn a loss into something great.